locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities. But right now, calm outside. And, of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Here we go. 18 Gator. We want this. Check 37, check 30.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 16 carries, 61 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often, in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Got it.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop.
Three down.
From the gun, Herbert throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Back to throw. Herbert, that's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun. Herbert, that'll be complete to Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get a by cover. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. On second down now, Jefferson, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Go! 8 read. You ain't going nowhere.
On 1st and 10, Herbert, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Rashawn Gary in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. They run. Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try.
A 30-yard attempt.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, they didn't get in the end zone, but pretty good balance there on the opening drive between the run and the pass.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they wanted to get accomplished right out of the gate. Throw the ball with success, run it, of course, to set the tone. So if we saw the offensive coordinator's play sheet, probably wrote himself a little note. Exactly what we wanted to do. Probed it early and got it done.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
You ready? Mike's my board. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. And that's complete to Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 6 catches, 72 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
A gain of 3, second down. This is how they will line it up defensively for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. A dump underneath to Jones.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some clout.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. 2nd and 9 now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Partner, are they going to cover him? Well, that's 4 catches and the touchdown grab on that opening drive.
Well, what we're seeing so far, I believe, is their understanding that they want to go to him and often, but also they know they've got to move him around a little bit, get him into some different spots to continue to find open space to throw him the football. Otherwise, I just run 2 or 3 guys at him. They're doing a nice job of finding his way open, scheming it, as they like to say.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately. I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 13.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. They'll set up a throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Right there, 54.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape when he goes down. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion.
X3, 218, chopper. Ready.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. So here are the Packers now to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's caught here by Adams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1.
Rock it.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Packers on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And Adams has it complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 13 yards, first down Packers.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
60 outlaw. Watch the screen. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. He'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hey, Charlie. Here we go, G.
They'll set up to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
Single. Watch 14. You remember me?
Now a play fake here on first down. And this one complete to Smith. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Looking to throw. Herbert, complete. Smith has it. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 15. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Hey, stay him off. Get it.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Out. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Mike's 54. Go. Watch the screen. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This for his running back, McCoy. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Back to throw. Herbert, it's caught. Smith. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Well, the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
60 outlaw.
Coming to you, coming to you. Watch safety creep, watch safety creeping.
Now.
On first down, Herbert. Rodgers brings it in. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. He's got Smith here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Here we go, here we go.
5.
Throwing on first down. Herbert, Packer pressure, and down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front in that one. The Cards locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Mixon, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? Find out? Let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? 60 or.
Watch the slat, watch the slat.
Hey, lock it.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Check, 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 check.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Okay, just like that, just like that.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The drive starting play, a good one. Give them 19.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
You ready? Mike 51. Mike 51. Watch the slant. Shoot!
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert, open man is Thielen. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 42.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Cook. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Look at the throw. Herbert. And this is Cook with a grab. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds McCoy. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Making the catch is Sternberger.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 36 yards on the play. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast, game the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Second and 6. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Herbert. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
No gain there on the completion, second and 10.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target. And that's how he'll shred the defense.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Again, it's Cook. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Set 60 Pittsburgh. Right here.
On first and 10, Herbert, it's complete to Diggs. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20. Operating from the gun. Herbert, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Whoa! 18 Gator.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
We got 3.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And Diggs has it. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back to the ground. Cook. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
For the field goal, a 35-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away? Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
90 Wolf. Light 54. Come on, the ball, come on. Defense.
On first down, it's Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Under 10, 10. Watch twist.
He'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He completes it to Jones.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Packers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
54's Mike. Hey, box drop.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Ready?
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's McCoy. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
X3, 218, chopper.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Back to throw. Herbert setting up the screen for Cook. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Go.
Second and 2. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Herbert, and this one complete to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Off the play fake. Herbert, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what would be an important fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Ready?
On fourth down, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old about Slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
And they will take a knee here. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Packers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.